Oh, hey, hi, how's it going? Meow. It's me, Sonic the Hedgehog. Hey man, I'd love to hang out with you right now, but as you can clearly see, you've interrupted me enjoying this delicious ring right here. So I'm gonna have to reschedule, man. But hey, love you, Tommy boy. Hey, alright, gotta go quickly. You know how I say it. In the hood, you know. Alright, see you later. Dude, what the hell, man? That was my last ring. What's wrong with you? Now, what am I gonna do now, man? That was it. It's over. It's gone. What is your problem, bro? What? You shoot me? You shoot me in my blue athletic dick legs? Are you kidding me? You know what? I've had it. Alright? I don't need this crap. Alright? I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. Alright? I was on a Cheerio cereal box, bro. I don't need this crap. God! You freaking kidding me? Oh, God. I can't believe that was the initial trailer. Well, thank God we all bitched and begged for the redesign. Yeah, I don't know though. I'm still not sold on the blue arms. It's just not my Sonic. Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm MJ the Game Boy and welcome back to another episode of RatedMJ. Now, with the Sonic the Hedgehog movie in theaters and with a better looking redesign, I thought now was a good time to jump back into the series. So we're heading to the next installment with Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Now, I have a bit of a history with Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Being the youngest sibling, it was a rite of passage to play this with my older brothers. However, I never remember any of us ever beating this game, and I know for a fact I've never beaten this game on my own.
But hey, I'm older now, got some more experience, and I beat the first Sonic game, so how hard can this be? Let's jump into it.
So, Sonic the Hedgehog was a huge success for Sega. The game was able to move Sega Genesis units and boost the sale of the console. People really liked Sonic. It was the first time Nintendo had a competitor against their NES and denim-cladded plumber. So with that thought process in mind, Sega and Sonic team decided to strike while the iron was hot, and a sequel was on the way. While Sonic the Hedgehog was developed by Sega in Japan, the sequel was being developed right here in America, with new programmers being trained to develop a new game based upon what the first game established. Also, the marketing for Sonic 2 was it was beautiful. I mean, just look at this commercial.
Now, when you buy the Sega Genesis that comes with Sonic 1, you'll get Sonic 2 absolutely free. Sonic 2 handles stubborn stains, embarrassing bald spots, no problem. It even slices and dices, makes thousands of julienne fries.
Pretty good fries. Yeah.
But wait, you can play it too. This free Sonic 2 is a $54.99 value. You get 2 Sonics for the price of 1. Sonic 2 fits easily into any tackle box. Made from a space-age polymer plastic for years of family fun, and pets love it too. Buy the Sega Genesis that comes with Sonic 1 and get Sonic 2 free.
Act now. Wiener Dog sweater sold separately.
Seriously, these types of ads need to make a comeback. Even Honey Nut Cheerios was getting in on Sonic Fever. And then on that historical day of November 24th, 1992, a date that will forever go down in history as Sonic Tuesday? Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was finally released. In addition to the Blue Boy's return, we also get introduced to his new sidekick, Miles Prower. Get it?
This game's from the 90s.
But since nobody ever seems to call him that, Sega just decided to drop his real name and name him after his deformity. So he is known as Tails in every game from here on out. So as the story goes, Sonic was Tails' role model. Tails soon began to copy Sonic just to match his speed and keep up with him. One day while Tails was trying to copy Sonic's Super Spin Attack, he actually created a new move he called the Super Dash Attack. What a show off! Little two-tailed asshole copycat stealing my thunder!
But Sega said I could.
Sega? Did you say Sega?
Yeah, but...
Sega? Sega?
What?
I am Sega!
Ah!
However, soon after this, tiny little animals were being placed inside Badniks again by the evil Dr. Robot Eggman, as he begins construction on his most deadliest doomsday weapon yet. the egg. I mean, I'm pretty sure nobody at Disney is brave enough to claim this. It's just the Death Star with his face over it. So the story is pretty much similar to the first games. Some evil fat mustachioed man is trying to take over the world by playing animals and robots, and it's up to an anthropomorphic blue mutant hedgehog and yellow two-tailed fox to stop him. Getting into gameplay, not much has really changed. Sonic and Tails control just like in the first game. However, there is a new move to talk about, and that's a super dash attack. Well, that's what's called in the manual, everybody else just calls it a spin dash. By holding down the D-pad and mashing the ever-living out of the jump button, Sonic and Tails will begin to rev up in the ball, and letting go of the D-pad will have both characters take off at high speeds, which can be useful for getting up and down in certain terrain within the game. It's also useful for attacking most grounded enemies too. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 also supports co-op play. Having someone else be player 2 will allow them to take control of the two-tailed fox. Though player 2 doesn't really stand a chance keeping up with player 1, they can however contribute by collecting rings and destroying enemies and bosses, since Tails keeps his invincibility and absolutely destroys the game with a second person controlling him. See, now this here is why Sonic 2 is considered the little brother game. And even though I don't have a little brother, I believe I have the next best thing. A little nephew! But even with all that godlike power, I was the one who still had to carry both of us to the end. But hey, we managed to get our teamwork down pat and we soon got through it all. So hey Jerry, thanks again for helping out your old uncle. Now hurry up and beat Robotnik, I got other to review. You also had the same items returning from Sonic 1 as well. Power Sneakers, Super Rings, 1-Ups, Invincibility, and Shield. Rings are also back from the first game as well, and they serve the same purpose. Having just one ring will save you from losing a life, and by collecting 100 or 200 rings, you gain an extra life. The score system is also back from the first game and... Wait, what? Oh right, I didn't talk about the score system in that video. Probably because the score system really didn't do much in that game. Bragging rights maybe? See which one of your friends can beat the game with the best score? I don't know. Anyway, in Sonic 2, the score system actually has a purpose. The points serve to give you more continues. You know, like in the last game. Which I also didn't talk about. Seriously, what did I talk about in that video?
Well, sometimes.
Oh, come on, man. Nah, put that away. It's inappropriate. Children watch this show. But yeah, continues allow you to, well, continue. If you somehow manage to die and have no more lives left, you can use one of your continues to start from the zone you died in. That way you won't have to play the game from the beginning again if you happen to get a game over. To earn a continue in the first game, you'd have to collect 50 rings while in the special stage. While in this game, scoring 10,000 points at the end of an act, or 100,000 points overall, will give Sonic and Tails a continue. Also, can I mention how amazing Sonic 2's soundtrack is? Seriously, each new zone is absolutely complemented by some catchy 16-bit theme. And yeah, while some songs stand out to me more than others, I'd be hard-pressed to tell you any song in this game that's just plain bad. I mean, no wonder there are people who straight up copy and paste Chemical Plant Zone into their mobile games. Or their YouTube videos. Now, getting into the zones, there's a lot to talk about. The majority of the zones are now separated into 2 acts instead of 3. Now, at first you'd probably see this as some lazy trade-off, but these zones actually have more to offer. More obstacles to get around, different pathways to the goalposts at the end of each zone, and new badniks that'll try and stop Sonic. Not to mention that these zones are much more colorful than the previous games. Like in Sonic 1, when you finish off any zone, you'll face off against Dr. Robotnik in a boss battle, where he's made new machines to try and destroy Sonic once and for all. Now, these boss fights can range from the difficulty of wait until he decides to come at you with a slow attack, or have player 2 take care of everything while you go grab snacks. Now for the zones. Emerald Hill Zone. It's basically Green Hill Zone, just not. A perfect beginning level for getting you used to how the game's controls and physics work. Chemical Plant Zone. Now this is definitely my favorite zone. Unlike Sonic 1's second level, this one keeps the speed and physics from Emerald Hill, and does a decent amount of platforming. This zone also introduces speed boosters, which automatically make Sonic take off in a certain direction, even sometimes having Sonic blast off the side of the screen. You also find a bunch of beginner's traps here too, like the pink chemical water or bottomless pits. Aquatic Ruin Zone. Basically it's the water zone in this game, and unlike Labyrinth Zone, I don't really hate it, again because of the different paths. You won't be freaking out about drowning or trying to keep bubbles to stay alive, seeing as you can skip most of the water pathways, if you're good enough. And no, I'm not that good. Casino Night Zone. Come on, big money, no whammy, stop! Damn it! Hilltop Zone. It's like Emerald Hill, but blue. And with lava. And robot dinosaurs. What the hell is this level? Like, I can't even say anything memorable about it. It's just a boring zone. Mystic Cave Zone. This is a pretty platform-heavy zone, but not too much to talk about here. It's just your mossy dank cave zone. However, this zone does host the most dreaded trap in the entire Sonic series.
The pits.
Seriously, whoever put this here is an asshole. If you happen to fall down here, well you better just kiss that attempt goodbye, because with no way out, you're basically as good as dead. Oil Ocean Zone. This level can get annoying, if not for the fake out platforming, then for the enemies that can catch you off guard with a well-timed snipe shot. And as the level name suggests, you're basically running through an oil spill, so stay clean and you should be fine. Metropolis Zone. No! That! This level straight up sucks ass! Not only is this zone's acts as long as a day at church, this is the only zone in the game with 3 goddamn acts! As if to take a cue from Scrap Brain Zone, Metropolis Zone has pits of lava, barrels that can crush you, conveyor belts, and what has to be the worst f***ing enemies I've ever encountered in a Sonic game. Asterons, shell crackers,
And slicers!
Now, Asterons are pretty easy to avoid as long as you prepare for it, but even being prepared, one misstep will cost you some rings. Shellcrackers aren't easy to prepare for, but they can be avoided if you jump over its obvious claw attack, and their weak spot is vulnerable once you get behind them, but good luck with that if their placement's under a low ceiling. You will get hit! However, slicers will make sure that your rings scatter all over the f***ing ground! What's that? You were picking up a decent amount of speed within the zone? Well then prepare for these assholes to remind you that speed is a luxury you can't afford in this level. Their boomerang blades aren't only quick, but they happen to hold on to wherever Sonic is going. Not to mention that their placement is just ridiculous! How am I supposed to avoid this? Sky Chase Zone. To be honest, I wasn't expecting this. Sky Chase is just a one-act zone, where Tails flies Sonic's plane to tornado into the sky, and you just jump around. But seriously, how is Sonic able to keep his footing and balance here? I'm not happy with this complete disregard of airline safety. Is the FSS monitoring this? Wing Fortress Zone. Well, the tornado gets shot down, we abandon Tails in the plane, and now we're running on this really unfinished platforming zone. Seriously, is this level even finished? Look how Sonic takes off in these little dash boosters. He's just so nonchalant about it. But because how broken this level is, you can skip about half of it thanks to this little cheat. If you grab a shield right before you head to the other side of the platforming section, you can use the shield to walk through the propeller at the end of the section. You'll lose the shield, but you can use the invincibility frames to walk right past the propeller without taking damage. And just like that, you skipped a pretty good portion of the level. Or if you want to just skip the part where you're dangling above certain death, you can just jump to the top of the level, like this.
Oh yeah, that's totally great level design right there.
Also, this zone's boss fight just plain sucks. I'm sorry, I just can't deal with this guy. I'm pretty sure there's some type of pattern recognition to this, but I couldn't figure it out. I just got lucky here. Well, Tails somehow managed to survive getting shot down and also fix the plane while that happened. We chase after the fat mustache Egg Boy, and we grab a hold of a rocket, now heading into Death Egg Zone. The final act of the game, taking place in space. Apparently. There are no rings to be found here, just 2 boss battles back to back. Mecha Sonic and the Death Egg Robot. This last level is all about pattern memorization and careful reflexes. But hey, no problem. You can do it.
No!
Also returning from Sonic 1 are special stages. However, there's no giant ring that you can jump through once you collect 50 rings like you did in the last game. Instead, we have Star Posts, which serves the purposes both the giant ring and the lamp post from the last game. Yeah, I know, I didn't talk about lamp posts in the first Sonic video either. Look, okay, it was my first video. I was not good at editing. I literally learned how to use Premiere for that video within a month, okay? God, cut me some slack. Anyway, the lamp post and the star post both serve the same purpose. If you happen to die at any point within the stage, this serves as your checkpoint. That way you can pick up the progress from where you left off. However, if you manage to pass a star post with at least 50 rings, you'll see stars begin to form around the top of it, and once you jump through it, you'll end up in the special stage. No longer are we controlling Sonic during his peyote trip through these batshit crazy mazes. Instead, we're controlling Sonic and Tails through a half-pipe structure, as I have to collect a certain amount of rings before reaching the end of the stage to grab a Chaos Emerald. However, there are bombs placed within the special stage that can cause them to lose a lot of rings if they're not too careful. Now, I have a really big gripe with these stages. First off, if you're playing this game without a second player and you choose to control Sonic and Tails through these stages, the AI will take control of Tails and have him just follow you around. Now, this wouldn't be a bad thing, except that there's a slight delay on the AI, which means that even though Sonic can jump over bombs and avoid them, Tails will hit the bombs and cause you to lose rings, just barely missing that ring quota and losing you your Chaos Emerald. And even if you do have a second player with you, they better not get distracted for too long, otherwise the AI will just come back and take control of Tails. Second, the controls are pretty much on the slippery side, making it pretty hard to be precise and accurate with your movements, and just knowing your positioning overall. And third, these stages take way too much memorization just to get down the first time, meaning that you'll have to go through the entire game and get to special stages just to memorize them. Hope you get lucky and get the right amount of rings your first time through the special stage. Or just use cheat codes to memorize the stage and get through it all faster. I mean, that's what we ended up having to do eventually. And yeah, I don't really have any shame in admitting this, especially when the game is trying to pull shit like this on me. Looks like I went a little too fast. But even after using this method, Jerry and I had a hard time trying to memorize these stages. And we still had to get the last emerald the legitimate way. But once we got the last zone memorized, we finally got the last Chaos Emerald, which means... Oh yeah! Super Sonic! That's right, since we collected 7 emeralds instead of 6, we get what's probably the best example of Akira Toriyama's work within the Sonic series. Sonic can finally turn into his final super duper Sonic God Ultimate Saiyan Hedgehog speed form. If you collect 50 rings within the stage and jump, you can become the Golden Super Sonic. In this form, Sonic can move faster, jump higher, and pretty much give enemies and bosses the middle finger by just standing there. But he's not invincible. He can still get crushed, fall to his death, drown, and if you fall into
The pits.
you're gonna die. No, seriously, even as Super Sonic, you cannot survive.
The pits.
Also, why can't Sonic survive underwater in this state? Isn't he supposed to be, super? You can also play a solo game as Sonic or Tails, with the Tails game being pretty useless. He can't fly while you control him, and he still doesn't get his super form once you collect all the emeralds. But I guess it is still nice to see him beat the Death Egg robot, and get that nice little ending shot of him jumping off the tornado. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 also has a cool little multiplayer mode. Unlike the co-op mode in the main game, the 2-player mode allows for the two of you to race each other in a few zones: Emerald Hill, Casino Night, and Misty Cave. With these zones not only being the same full zones from the main game, they're also accompanied by their own multiplayer music, which sounds great. Though I'll be honest, the split screen can make things a bit claustrophobic. You can always choose to race the special stage though. The name of the game is to nab more rings than the other player. No chaos emeralds to be found here though. So Sonic the Hedgehog 2, in conclusion, is the definition of a sequel game, making all the right improvements from the first game and having its own sense of identity and presence within the series. This is the best-selling game on the Sega Genesis for a reason. With over 6 million copies sold, the mobile remakes adding additional old content to the game like a lost level, and loyal fans who claim this game to be the best within the entire series, as if to say it's the Strikes Back of the series. Really? And not to mention the iconic addition to the Two-Tailed Fox, it's obvious that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 earned its spot within gaming history. And I know that Jerry and I definitely had a great time playing this game for the review. And I'm super psyched to see Sonic the Hedgehog the movie. The legend himself, Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik. Nice. And of course, the ever-talented Ben Schwartz as Sonic. I love you, Benny boy.
You know what? I don't like him, but I respect the shit out of him. I think you're a real piece of fucking shit.
So yeah, that's Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It's actually a really good sequel game. It takes everything good from the first game and just improves and adds upon it. I can definitely recommend this game to anyone who's curious to get into the series, or to all the older and younger siblings out there. Well hey guys, thanks for watching another episode of RatedMJ. I gotta hurry up and get to the movie, so until next time, see you later.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching my Sonic the Hedgehog 2 video. If you want, you can go ahead and watch my really old, cringy first Sonic the Hedgehog video right here. If you want. I wouldn't recommend it, but hey, it's here. Or you can watch whatever else I do on this channel. Later.